What is good, YouTube? Quinn Wade coming to y'all that analysis breakdown. Michael Jeffrey Jordan, the greatest player ever and probably the greatest scorer ever in NBA history. He had a knack for being able to get to the rim. It was something that was impossible for defenders to stop. That quick first step and that explosion and that killer instinct mentality. I'm only coming at you to score, whether you have help or not. And his ability to float and glide and stay in the air and contort his body to whatever he needed to do to get the ball to go in the basket. He was able to do it in transition. He was able to, just throw down hard on the rim, and he was able to go so fast that you was never in the vicinity to even stop it for the most part of his career. And it was just like a track meet with this guy trying to stop him from getting to the basket, even if it was in the half court. And I feel like that was something that was very troublesome for most defenders. And this guy can literally just lay the ball up from the free throw line, it seemed like. And there's nothing you could really do because his ability to take off and be able to finish. And sometimes he just came at you with that mentality that I am going to finish, and then you realize you're a step behind and he's already at the basket. That's how quick, that's how fast he really was, especially as he was in his 20s. You couldn't really stop him from getting to the basket at all. And his footwork was amazing, his timing was amazing, and his unpredictability is something that was very, braggadocious of what he can really do. And I like what I seen out of whatever he did. It just like you was in wow or just amazed by what he was doing. Just like taking his time to just use a Euro step before it was even popular, and then be able to gather and already know how you're going to score, or even just fiddling with your opponent and then they think you're going to stop and then you realize you're already at the basket laying it off the backboard, and then you see that it was nothing they can do, and then he can reposition himself in the paint, in the post, or get the position that he wants, and he just automatically knows how to get to that fadeaway. And it was just literally nothing that you could do, even if he wanted to tour around with you a little bit to make sure your feet were separated from him, so that way he can get a good quality look with the fadeaway, was something that really made him unstoppable. And the patience, to back you down or bump you a little bit or hit you to make sure, when he takes the fadeaway, you got a clear look at the basket. And then, you had to be feisty with him sometimes. And then he'll even score on two defender when they come over a little late. By then, he's already in the shot and he got to look at the rim that he needs to be able to knock it down. And then you realize this guy is just on another level. The pull-up jumper was something that was signature to. He can do it off the dribble, or he can do it if you pass him the ball. He can just pull up from anywhere on the court and just be able to knock it down. And it was just amazing to see him shoot over guys his size, or guys that were shorter than him, and to see that he had so much confidence in that jump shot that he had no time to even figure it out. He was just pulling it, and it was all net. And it was one of the toughest shots to guard because you had to help, you had to pay attention to guys, and if you paid too much attention, he'd just kill you with that jump shot, and there was nothing you can really do about it. Even if you wanted to put a hand in his face, by then he would already have it released because it was a no hesitation shot. And I love seeing that grip and how much he wanted that ball. And you know his passing was something that people slept on. They said you can't really beat Jordan. Can he really finish these challenges because he's so aggressive and he's so attack friendly with the basketball? Can he win a championship? And then he showed you guys that I can facilitate too. Let me use my speed and my quickness to get my teammates involved, or let me slow down my game a little bit to get my teammates involved so they can get shots and they can get their confidence up and they can play better because the ball is moving. Let me find shooters. Let me find 3-point shooters. Matter of fact, let me even find people, that's in the paint trying to get an easy shot, or if they already sealed their defender, let me just give them a shot like this and they make a quick move, and then it's just a high percentage shot even for me or my teammates if they kick it back out. And we seen a lot of that with the Bulls and how they like to use them, and he would sometimes risk turning the ball over to do fancy in-air passes that usually uses that pull up as a distraction to get everybody looking at him, and then he makes the quick pass to his teammate and they end up getting an easy bucket. And that's something that most people can't do still today, but it's something that he was able to master. And I like the way that they played in transition. They was all unselfish. They all played together. But Michael Jordan was a reason of that. If you want to focus on me, that means you ain't paying attention to what you need to be doing. One of the best steals leader, won multiple times, and one of the best blocking shooting guards of all time. Michael Jordan's career, he is one of the most historic players in NBA history, if not the most historic, becoming a six-time NBA championship. Two of them was three-peats in the 90s, giving him the most championships earned by him carrying the load. In my personal opinion, he was a six-time Finals MVP, meaning he's the reason why they won those championships. Even if he was the best facilitator, even if he was the best defender, even if he was the best scorer, having a series where he averaged 41 points, leading them in assists, almost getting close to a triple double, or even if it's just averaging his 30 average like he did in the regular season, which is the highest in NBA history. He also won 5 MVPs, having some of the greatest seasons ever. He was rewarded with the MVP, and that's something that was non-negotiable sometimes because his numbers and the win success, and then was able to get them over the hump in the 90s. 14-time All-Star. He was able to add longevity to his game. He was able to modernize his game and evolve his game even during injuries. He had the motivation, he had the dedication to the game of basketball, the love and the passion for basketball, and that's what really made him great and really pushed him to remain and stay the greatest for a long period of time. He also won 3 All-Star MVPs. That's a fun award, but he took it as a challenge to show that he was the best among the best. Why not just go ahead and do that? 10-time first team All NBA, showing you that he was elite at the position, if not just the best player in the world for a long period of time, especially when it came to the only thing I need to do left is win championships. And after that, it was just, everybody knew. He did make a second team. He did make Defensive Player of the Year, making him the only guard at that time to win Defensive Player of the Year. And he did it in a season where he won MVP and other awards that year that was significant that I already mentioned. He had a year where he won all the awards, including Defensive Player of the Year, like MVP and All NBA First Team and scoring titles. And we'll get on to that later. 9-time Defensive First Team. He got cheated out of one. People would say I would agree with that. But 9 is still above average. Rookie of the Year, 28 points a game. The rebounds and the assists was there. The defense was there. The steals was there. He's one of the best shot blocking guards, if not the best shot blocking guard in NBA history. He did also make foreign awards like All Rookie First Team. 10 scoring titles. Some people thought that they can catch that. He still has that record where nobody could guard him, whether he's averaging 30, whether he's averaging 28, whether he was averaging 35 or 36. He showed that he can score in a variety of ways and was able to stay healthy and still be able to perform in the playoffs at a high level, leading, having records where he did some stuff that people haven't done, playing 82 games and then going into the playoffs, playing as much games as you can and still leading teams to championships. Just showed that the dedication is something you just can't question. He also had a 3-time steal leader, so not only was he one of the best shot blocking guards, he also can get steals, and he also can stay as a defender, stay in front of guys, and that really just helped the team a lot, even in transition. And then just being a 2-time slam dunk competition, still having fun out there with the fans and coming home with some hardware. Obviously, he was retired by the Chicago Bulls. Obviously, the number 23 was something that got worldwide acclaim. Everybody wanted to be like Jordan. Everybody's favorite player at that point was Michael Jordan. So the jersey just was something that was wore by everybody at one point because they were trying to find the next Jordan. And, it came naturally. Eventually, guys starting to come into their own and ended up becoming the players that they wanted to be, not just a clone of Jordan. And I think that was something that was important for NBA to be able to move forward from him, which took a while. And he played for the Wizards where he was able to break some, records that he started, being the first one to get 50-point games at the age of 40, helping them make it to the playoffs at one point, and also being able to dominate even in that age, being a quality player and a quality starter at an advanced age was something that we heralded. But he had the greatest season in NBA history, getting the scoring title, getting Defensive Player of the Year, making the MVP, winning the championship. He winning All Star MVP. He's the only person to basically sweep every single major award in one season, and he done it. And he was able to dominate so much that that's all we remember. When was the guy ever bad? And when you coming in as rookie averaging 28, we can't really say, rookie season was bad when you competing, making the playoffs, going against some of the greatest teams ever, and people saying, like, we couldn't stop them, we couldn't guard them. This is the Larry Birds, and the Detroit Pistons are champions, and the Sixers, and then the Magic Johnson teams, which he actually played in the finals. They said he was passing, he was scoring. Like, it's nothing that Michael Jordan can't do. And he was one of the guards that people were saying, can you win this way? Centers is in the paint, and they're able to dominate because they're closer to the rim. You have Keem Olajuwon, David Robertson, and Shaquille O'Neal at that time, some of the best, greatest top 50 big man / players of all time. And Jordan still was winning championships while they was at the peak of their career. And some of these guys are two-way players like a David Robertson and a Hakeem Olajuwon, and they just couldn't dominate the way that Jordan could, even in the post. MJ, fadeaway, perfect. And then you look at the shoes. It just became a culture icon for the game of basketball, being able to promote it the right way, being able to fly in that era and just do contortions in the ball with the ball in their hands. Everybody was trying to, practice these shots and practice these moves, but nobody could do it with the English and nobody can do it with the touch of Michael Jordan. And then you see how the shoes just continue to evolve over time, being fancy, being stylish, but also being able to be shoes you can actually play in and still feel good about yourself. Even if you didn't want to do it, then they just became apparel where you don't even want to hoop in them. They so crispy, they so nice looking that you don't even want to hoop in them. You want to just save them, whenever you want to look fancy or stylish. So it became part of pop culture. It became a part of how we dress and how we put our fits together today. And it show you what we value, that we rather have some fresh pair of kicks than to even, play basketball in them. So we use other people's shoes to play basketball in because we didn't want to mess up the Jordans. And it got to a point where you even want to get a scuff mark on your Jordan, so you had to watch what people was doing around you. And it just shows you how much people appreciated the shoe and what it brought to the table when it comes to fashion. So Jordan done did it fashion wise. He done did it on the court. He did it off the court. As a person that helped bring basketball and keep it alive and keep it the number one sport. He's a big ambassador for that. He's just as big as Magic and Bird and Bill Russell when it comes to being a cultural icon. And it's just a no-brainer at this point. But other than that, when you look at the greatest season is obviously Michael Jordan. When you look at the greatest run is Michael Jordan. When you look at the greatest team, it's probably the Chicago Bulls, depending on what type of style and type of team you like. And obviously, you can't really compare eras and what they had to do to win championships, like the Celtics, obviously going on a longer run than the Bulls. But that's just a different era and different type of competition and different type of seasons, and how many games was played and stuff like that, and how many teams was involved is different to compare. But when it comes to averaging 30, 40, 50 points and just coming at you relentlessly and coming at you, defensively, nobody does it better than Michael Jeffrey Jordan. And I'm proud to have known him. I'm proud to have a relationship with him. It's fun to see him dominate. It's fun to see him go out there and play. The highlights never get old. Even if you was able to watch The Last Dance, it wasn't something that was new to be told. It was just something that people missed and still wanted to see. And that's why the TV show did so well, because Jordan is a guy that is so beloved in this world. Other than that, there's just appreciation and just a fan making content about Michael Jeffrey Jordan's iconic career. This is a tribute. Don't really do them that often. Not going to be doing too many of them, but it was just good to finally get this one done after I said he was my number one ranked player of all time last year. So now you know why, and now you know his game, and now you know the face, and now you know why his career is so heralded. So many people love him around the world. Other than that, comment, like, subscribe, and share, and hit the notification bell for more analysis.